Get ready to laugh out loud at the final show of the 2025 Center Stage Comedy Series at Jones Center. Comedian Karen Morgan will be there on Friday. She's joining us now. Great to see you. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
Absolutely. Good morning. How's it going down there or
Yeah,
over there?
yeah, it's going great, going great. Good to see you. I can tell you're a big Georgia fan, so we got SEC similarities for sure.
Of course. Absolutely. I love any SEC country. I'm happy to go there.
Yes. Well, how long have you been performing?
I've been doing comedy for about 20 years. I was a trial lawyer prior to that. So I don't know if you would call a trial lawyer also performing, but
Yeah, what was that switch like? That seems to be an entirely different career path.
well, I always tell people there's a little change in the middle. It's called having 3 kids in 3 years, which sort of led to the comedy as well. So
Yeah.
there was not a direct path from trial law to comedy.
You know that's funny. And you're giving us a taste of it right now. And we kind of set up earlier when we were talking about this interview. We said you kind of draw on growing up in the 70s, 80s. What can folks expect out there at your shows?
Well, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, I'm calling this the unsupervised and dehydrated comedy tour for a reason. So, we grew up unsupervised. So I talk a lot about how we grew up in our childhood, and I also talk a lot about marriage and family because that's kind of what I'm all about. I'm a Southern comic, so a lot of it is storytelling, and I think the people in Arkansas will appreciate the southernness of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Where do you get a lot of your source material from? Who are some of those influences also that you like to draw from?
Well, my material comes from my life. So, I write all my own material and have always done so. I am inspired by other comics that work clean, that are clean comics. People like Brian Regan and Jim Gaffigan, Greg Warren. There's a lot of people that I admire because they are really good, clean comics.
Yeah. Do you think that takes a special skill? I would imagine it does. Being able to write jokes that are clean and kind of like appropriate for everyone.
Well, I don't know that it's a special skill. It's a skill. Um, People do say it's harder to write clean comedy, just because you're not relying on certain types of humor to make people laugh or make people uncomfortable. I've just always written clean. I want people that come to my shows to be able to bring their grandmother.
Right.
Bring your great Aunt Mary. Don't necessarily bring kids. I mean, kids could come. It's a clean show, so they could come. But I don't know that they would appreciate the humor. They would. It's not for
Right.
kids.
Right.
But you would be not embarrassed to bring your grandmother, and that's
Yes.
sort of where I come from.
Now, when you write a show or write jokes, I'm just curious about your process. Are you one of these comics who has a notepad with you, so you're writing down jokes all the time? Do you have paper by
Well,
your bedside? Like, what's it like?
I guess technically we all have a notepad that looks like our phone these days. So I
True.
always have my phone with me. And if something happens during the day that I find funny, depending on where I am, I'm pretty observational. So I'll jot something down, and then, I don't have a specific I will write today from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Right.
Like I'm not one of those kind of writers, but if something hits me, and I'm traveling, and I will jot it down on my phone in my notes, and then I will bring it back up later to make a longer story out of it.
Yeah, certainly. Your show is happening this Friday, is that right? Friday at the
That is
Jones Center.
that is correct. So Shiny Happy People Laughing is the name of my latest album. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, and the band REM is from there also, and they were very kind to let me use that title for my album.
Yeah, that's great. Super fun. All right, you can see some details on your screen. Tickets are still available. Get them while you can. Go out and support some comedy here in Northwest Arkansas. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Of course, I'm so glad to be there, and I'm looking forward to coming out there and seeing y'all.
Yeah, we're going to welcome you here with open arms. So thanks, Karen. Appreciate it.